Hi, I want to talk about margin of error and confidence intervals and how they're calculated. So let's imagine that there is a jelly bean epidemic at VU. There are jelly beans everywhere. We're worried about tooth health, and you are going to investigate. So let's go through some of the math. Um, so X bar here is your mean. um, plus or minus Z, which is your confidence coefficient, times sigma, which is your standard deviation, divided by the square root of n, which is your sample size. So that's the basic math we're working with. Um, and I'm going to refer to this part of the equation as the margin of error. And when we have a confidence interval, we have a lower and upper confidence interval. So because it's a range of values. And so to get the lower and the upper, we simply have the mean minus that margin of error, and then the mean plus that margin of error. Okay, so you've done your study. There are 100 participants in your study. They reported their jelly bean usage. Um, Mean jelly bean intake is 30 jelly beans per day, and standard deviation is 6. And then you've got your 95% confidence interval, the confidence coefficient 1.96. So that's taken straight from a Z table. And we can use the equation from the previous slide, plug in those values, and we get a margin of error of 1.2. So to get the lower and upper intervals, it's simply the mean minus 1.2. So 28.8 is the lower interval. And the mean 30 plus 1.2, so 31.2 is the upper interval. So the way this works, and just bringing this graph or this figure back in, um, so the mean here sits in the middle, and then our confidence coefficient, 1.96. So if we went the mean and then 1.96 standard deviations below the mean, and then 1.96 standard deviations above the mean, then that would be about 95% of the data. Um, and then on either side of that, so 2.5 and 2.5, add them together, you get the 5%. So that's where our 95% confidence interval comes in. So the lower limit again, 28.8, and then the upper 31.1, sorry, 31.2. And so you could say that you're 95% confident that your population mean, that is the mean of VU students based on your sample of 100, is between 28.8 and 31.2.